Man, that is scene. All wrong getting yeeted. And the one in Rogue One is actually so much better. Like the music that goes along with it is good. Wait, is it Richardson? Is it?
Commence primary ignition.
Commence primary ignition. You can actually see it, but I didn't know that. I thought they said commence fireization, but I got it mixed up. Wait, did the protagonist die?
Father would have been proud of you, Jen.
The rebel flagship is disabled, my lord, but has received transmission from the surface. Prepare a boarding party. Yes, my lord.
They ruin their lives in 60 seconds.
Businesses nationwide are switching to Verizon Business Internet.
It's a perfect fit for my small business.
Verizon has business-grade internet solutions nationwide.
For our not-so-small business, too.
Get internet that keeps your business ready for anything from the network America relies on.
This video will make you feel great about yourself, okay? No matter what you have going on in your life, you will never be as stupid as these two individuals right here. In order to raise awareness for climate change, they decided to walk into an art gallery and soil one of the greatest art pieces ever made.
Thank God it was behind glass.
You may have heard
Because of
it.
tards
It's
like
called
this.
Sunflower by Vincent van Gogh, a Dutch painter that achieved a glorious harmony of colors using this powerful painting that influenced art culture for decades. Not only that, these two climate activists actually super glued themselves to the wall. Yes, this is real life. This is not a cartoon. They thought it would be a good idea. You know, those people that hug those trees to prevent them from being cut down? It's kind of like a similar thing, except just super gluing your hand to the wall for absolutely no reason.
God, these guys are stupid, man. I thought the things I got in trouble with at school were kind of dumb. This is like pure stupidity. Pure refined, 100% refined stupidity.
About the transport that they used to come to this location, but we'll get into all of that. They also gave a really powerful speech that inspired nobody except delusional activists who love partaking in events.
Sucks because
Security.
is there a crime for destroying something of high value? Yep, come on. Hold on. There's gotta be a like grand larceny on. Is a class 4 felony and it's punishable by 1 to 3 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections at fines of $25,000. So, and this is not Illinois, but if they were in Illinois, they would be fined 25 grand and they'll be charged 1 to 3 years in prison. This is criminal property destruction and it is a bad crime. It's pretty high up their crime. Not compared to like killings, but still. It's a felony.
Okay, so that's the
These guys committed two class 4
views.
felonies.
That's only the first part of the video, and I'll be showing the second part really soon. But if you don't know what happened, they took like canned tomato juice or something, and you know just chucked it onto the painting, hoping to ruin it for everybody. Also, if you don't know what they're scrambling to do there, they're trying to apply super glue to their hand so that they can stick their hand behind.
I hope it hurts like hell.
I don't know what that does because if somebody wanted to remove you, they could very easily remove you. No amount of super glue is gonna change.
Okay,
Maybe
Shing
50%
takes
about
out like a
painting.
sword
I'm
to
not
get them off the
100%
wall.
sure, but I think it was blocked by glass. Okay, so these paintings are usually protected because they're worth $85 million, right? You kind of want it protected. So I think the juice only hit the glass that was protecting it, which can be replaced very easily. Now, if some of it somehow seeped inside, that would be, yeah, they're probably going to be in debt for life. $85 million. Not your entire family tree can't afford that. Your next generation, everybody you ever know is in
Even
debt.
if I... Let's see. I want a job that's gonna pay me $150,000 a year. Let's see. If I had to pay that back... Without paying taxes, I'd have to work for 566 years. My God. These guys are dipshits. Yeah, by the way, if you're gonna be bragging about, oh, we need to protect our people, we need to care for our people, why'd you just waste a can of tomato soup throwing it at the wall? I'm sure somebody in like a third world country like Ethiopia, no offense, because Ethiopia is pretty corrupt and their government takes all their damn food. Like, I'm sure a family in Ethiopia or somebody could have actually used that soup instead of yours, dumbass. I'm just saying, I'm just stating the obvious here. Wait. You're saying just stop oil, but you're saying that fuel prices are too high, which they are, honestly. It cost me like, what, $74 just to fill up my tank? $74! Why should I pay $74 to fill my freaking tank? I'm not saying that because I'm spoiled. I'm saying that because it's common sense. Who the hell pays $74 to fill their tank? Man, 2016 prices compared to 2022 prices, man. That sucks. Anyway.
Down for a second, I got a little question here. How does this change anything? How does you vandalizing expensive art in a museum, getting yourself arrested, change anything? How does it have anything at all to do with climate change? You said, what did you say? Millions of people can't afford fuel or something? I'm sorry, it's hard to listen to a nut job, but if that is what you say, how does that change anything? How does you doing this have any message whatsoever other than inspiring people to just break the law? I just don't understand how you think you're protecting the planet or people or raising awareness to the issue of climate change. Everybody already knows about climate change. You doing this is doing nothing. How about you tell me a solution, goddammit? There's really nothing that screams Gen Z more than false activism. They really think they're doing something right here. You think like you're the main character, you're gonna make a difference in this world, when in reality you're just a crazy lunatic. You think you're gonna make a good impact in this world, but the only difference you made is bad. You probably just inspired thousands of like-minded lunatics such as yourself to go and vandalize paintings, especially artwork that, like, if that glass wasn't there,
You know, yeah, he is right. If the glass was not there, they would have been in so much trouble. I don't have like a big appreciation for art. I appreciate art, just not as much as other people. Please know that. But honestly, I respect art for what it does, because that dude was very talented, and he put lots of work into it.
you would have, like, literally just desecrated one of the greatest art pieces of all time. They can't even afford to heat a tin of soup. Okay, my bad, guys. It was actually a tin of soup. Okay, here we got a little bit of a caption to the video to give more context. Climate activists throw soup over Van Gogh's sunflowers. 2 protesters from Just Stop Oil have thrown Heinz tomato soup over Van Gogh's 1888 masterpiece, Sunflowers, at the National Gallery in London. What is worth more, art or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Said one of the climate activists after gluing themselves to the wall. This is a simulation, man. Are you more concerned about the protection of the painting or the protection of the planet and people? Probably the painting. That's $84 million. Okay, listen, obviously people care about the planet and people, right? It's just there's no, like, easy way to save the entire planet instantly, okay? Of course, we can do good things like, you know, stop littering and, you know, be energy efficient with our uses and all of that, you know, goddamn turn off the lights when you leave the room. But doing stuff like this, how is this helping anybody? The cost of living crisis, part of the cost of oil crisis, fuel is unaffordable to millions of cold, hungry families. They can't even afford to heat a tin of soup, but you can afford to chuck it at a painting. The painting, worth 84 million pounds, is unlikely to be damaged due to its protective glass, okay? But the protesters have been arrested, according to the Metropolitan Police. Enjoy your, like, 7 years in jail over just the dumbest shit, okay? The Just Stop Oil activists have been blocking roads around the parliament for the last few days. It's a 14-day of demonstrations.
This is
Demands that the
England
government
or
should stop
something,
all
or
new
Europe.
oil and gas licenses. Okay, listen, I'm just a YouTuber, I don't really know anything about this, but I think that's gonna have some huge implications. Like, they can't just do that, I think. I don't know. Considering Van Gogh was dirt poor, lived humbly, was depressed, and painted things like this to cheer others up and himself, I'm not sure why he had to be targeted as a message. Probably because they have no idea what they're doing. Now, this comment really opened my eyes to the hypocrisy here. Wearing shirts that were shipped halfway around the world with oil, and jeans shipped halfway around the world with oil, and shoes.
Also, wait, are they actually wearing jeans? I'm assuming so. By the way, do you know how environmentally destructive cotton is to grow? Cotton actually takes, like, to make yourself a pair of jeans and a shirt, it takes 4,000 gallons of water to make a pair of jeans. Do you know how much water that is? That is stupid, ludicrous amounts of water.
Shipped halfway around the world with oils, using hair care products derived from oil, throwing cans
Plastics.
transported to their local store with oil. I also assume they took an oil-consuming means of transportation to the museum. Shake my head. It's genuinely wild how these people present themselves as holier than thou, right? They've understood everything about the universe and what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to save the planet, and you're the evil person standing in their way. It's like the people that shame you for eating a sandwich at McDonald's because they've somehow had behind the scenes look, and they know that some animals are being abused in some McDonald's factory somewhere. It's like, we're just buying the fucking sandwich, alright? It's just cheap and easy to get, okay? We don't think about all these things. Maybe we should be, okay? Maybe we should be thinking about these things, but this is not the way to go about it, okay? Someone tell her that the hair dye she has used to make her hair pink is a fossil fuel by the product. Plus, the label on the can also has fossil fuel byproduct. It prevents the dye from running and protects the hair shaft from breaking off. Accepting reality, that would be a little bit hard for these individuals. Listen, if you're really obsessed with these issues and you genuinely think the change needs to be made in the world, start with yourself, okay? Be the change that you want to see in this world, okay? How about you yourself stop using oils? How about you show everyone? Okay? Actions speak way louder than words. Don't force other people to buy your narrative over here, and don't break the goddamn law. I don't know, man, even if everything you're saying is true, is it really worth winding up in jail, even if you think you had a good message?
Can you imagine going to jail saying I wound up here because of a can of soup?
It's okay to care. It's definitely okay to care about these issues. It's not okay to be stupid about it, though.
The dumbest protest gets even worse.
Every time you think people can't get dumber, they somehow prove you wrong. The climate activists have been doing a bunch of things recently. Just Stop Oil protesters have smeared King Charles's waxwork with cake. You know King Charles, the outspoken environmentalist? You might have even heard of the Volkswagen protests where a bunch of people walk into a Porsche showcase and complain about not being able to poop. So real quick, if you're not up to date, this all started a week ago when climate activists threw tomato soup on Van Gogh's painting in Amsterdam. Since then, a bunch of things have happened, like milk dumps taking place in supermarkets, more activists in Germany threw mashed potatoes at Claude Monet's painting haystacks, and it's just been chaos everywhere. So starting off with the protesters throwing cake at King Charles.
Oh, I thought that was the actual James Bond. Oh, shut up, dude. I bet you. I would almost place 10 grand. You're driving a vehicle that consumes gasoline. And because of this, you are literally killing the environment. You have no room to speak at all. No room. You are so hypocritical. We need to stop oil. We need to stop oil. I totally don't drive a gasoline-powered car. Oh my god. I'm assuming you live in a house. I know this is unavoidable, but like you live in a house that they probably burn coal to make the electricity for. So you're also doing that. So I mean, if you really want to push the narrative, what if you, I don't know, put solar panels on your house? I know it's not, you can't cost, but seriously, bro.
Well, I'm sure your grandchildren will be very proud of your absolute bravery today in wasting a piece of cake. Why is it always food? I don't understand. Why can't you use something that is not edible? God damn it, bro. I don't know what it is about these Just Stop Oil protesters, but they just love mocking starving families. It's like a kink they have. To me, some of what this guy's saying is that he's haunted by, I don't know, his grandchildren one day confronting him and saying, "Dad, why didn't you save the goddamn world?" I mean, heaven forbid you ever procreate, because we really don't want people like you existing in this world at all. But on the off chance that you do, I don't think your grandchildren have the right to confront you for not saving the entire goddamn world. I don't think it's gonna be one person's fault. I'm pretty sure it's a societal problem, not a single person problem. Anyways, I love how absolutely delusional these people are. Like, it's so simple. Just stop oil, bro. Just stop it. Like,
By the way, if oil disappeared tomorrow, I'd probably assume a quarter of the population would probably die.
And shop Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America. Save $300 and get a $300 instant gift. Our mattresses and bases are in stock for fast delivery. Only at Mattress Firm, America's #1 Tempur-Pedic
I can't afford
retailer.
that.
stop oil somehow. Like, how is it related? What the hell are you doing? You know, just a question, like, off topic, but how many liters of soy does this guy consume on a daily basis, bro? Jesus Christ. Imagine being raised as an individual like this. Imagine your parents being proud of the person you are today. I love how he says, we need immediate action, guys, right now, or the world is gonna burst into flames. That's why I'm wasting this cake right now. I needed action. I needed to do something. Activist spoils a work of art. Billionaire oil moguls. Okay, moving on to the Volkswagen protest.
I'm Jonathan Grimalda. I'm a researcher in social psychology at a research institute in Germany, and I'm here in the Porsche pavilion in the Autostadt of Wolfsburg to denounce the responsibility of Volkswagen in the climate emergency that we are facing.
Climate protesters glue themselves to Porsche Museum, but needed to go potty. Staff simply left.
Well, that's their undoing.
Rather than calling
Let them
police.
suffer.
It's a little bit misleading here. I'll tell you guys the full story. story in a second. Basically what happened is a bunch of guys glued themselves to the floor of a showroom, and Volkswagen actually supported their right to protest, right? They're like, okay, good job guys, we should be environmentally friendly. But for some reason, these protesters were so incredibly entitled, they thought that they would be provided free amenities all the time. So they wanted.
Guys, I'm so tired of this, man. I literally glued my hand down to Walmart, and they won't feed me the food I want, and I can't go to the bathroom, man. That sucks. Walmart sucks, man. I'm an entitled piece of crap, and I have to have everything my way. Screw life. That's what these guys are probably thinking.
They wanted a bowl to poop and pee in. They wanted food provided. They want water provided. Now, Volkswagen actually went to the extent of giving them protein bars and water to support their protest, which is wild, by the way. So believe it or not, the authorities actually had a heart here. They gave them food and water to support their right to protest. Now, these protesters were like, okay, we glued our hands here, so we can't actually walk to the toilet to poop and pee, despite their
And puke.
from the showroom, obviously. So, in order to have their hands glued there and simultaneously poop and pee, they asked for giant bowls to poop and pee in. Now, obviously, the authorities were like, that's a little bit unsanitary, and it's against our rules. We can't have you openly defecating in a showroom. That would, throw off our customers a little bit. I don't know. I'd probably walk out if I saw grown men pooping and peeing next to these fancy cars, right? So they're like, we're not giving you bowls to poop and pee in. So these guys went on Twitter and had a complete meltdown. They're like, look at these absolute cruel individuals not supporting our right to protest. In fact, they should give us free items all day, every day. Okay, so now we come to the absolute cherry on top, okay? So these absolute idiots, right? They thought the protest would last like 30 minutes or something. They were like, okay, we're gonna glue ourselves here, and then within 15 minutes, the security is gonna kick us out. They never thought that they would actually support their right to protest. So obviously, these idiots did not come prepared to sit for multiple hours and actually put their money where their mouth is and protest, right? I mean, it's super obvious that these people do not think about their actions at all. They never plan things through. So basically what happened is that they came to the end of the day, right? So pop quiz here, what happens at the end of the day? Well, they needed to close the museum. So they're like, okay, we support your right to protest, so we're just gonna leave now because, our work day is done. Okay, I work 9 to 5, not 9 to 9. So what they do is they turn off the lights and turn off the heat and all go home, leaving these guys in the dark. Now the irony is absolutely amazing here. These guys go on Twitter and complain about how they turned off the heat. The climate protesters are complaining.
Actually, you know what? No. This is what they want, right? They want them to stop using oil. So, in order for them to stop using oil and coal and fossil fuels, they're turning off the heat. So they're doing what they want. However, it's coming back to bite them. Oh, I just realized that. That's amazing.
Here, these guys go on Twitter and complain about how they turned off the heat. The climate protesters are complaining about a business turning off their heat when it's not working. So basically, they're saying, please keep the heat on 24 hours.
No, don't keep the heat on. It uses oil. We must stop oil usage.
At this point, I've concluded these guys are not climate activists. They are complete and utter narcissists. They only care about themselves. They only care about making themselves famous and acting like they're doing something or making a difference in the world. When in reality, you're an NPC. You're a loser. You're contributing to nothing in society. Now, as you guys know, these idiots super glue their hands to the floor, which is obviously going to cause some damage to your hands. And here we got this video. Doctors discerned the possibility of life-threatening blood clots in my hand and recommended an immediate transfer to the hospital. My health is, of course, paramount. I accepted to leave this wonderful group and was taken to the hospital, continuing my hunger strike. Dude, there's a point where your cognitive brain needs to start functioning, okay? Is it really worth it?
You know what these guys should be doing? Go to the... Remember, I don't know if you ever see my stream yesterday. I said that the top 100 biggest corporations in the world cause 80% of all emissions. Here's the thing. You want to complain? If I want to complain about climate change, I would get entire hordes of people up on the headquarters and just stay out there. Like, just post, like stay there. That way they know what is happening. There we go. We finally built the first one that goes around. I thought that was not a QT RTG fair for a second. Yep.
Yourself for life. Is this really worth it?
So it's now 26 hours that I'm on a hunger strike, and I've been in service for 24 hours. It has been quite painful during the night. I had to. It was cold, first of all, very cold. My hands were really cold.
Yeah, because you're in the showcase without heating. They shut down the business, bro. It's nighttime. What the heck is wrong with you? Don't get me wrong. I don't like seeing people suffer like this, okay? I don't get my rocks off on this. This is horrible, okay? Obviously, this shouldn't be happening to anybody. But you are putting yourself through this. Why are you doing this? Nobody's asking you to glue your hands to the floor, bro, and get life-threatening blood clots. Isn't your life more important than that? Like, I don't know, man.
And I had to lay up, to stand up after every 2 hours because I had pain in my arm and my hand is now very, very swollen.
Just remove your arm. Nobody's watching. Nobody's even
And so
here.
eventually, after at least 3 requests, some doctors have come to visit me, and I mean, I feel so sorry, but they said that it is potentially life-threatening condition because some clots could develop into my hands and then go around to my blood, and it was potentially life-threatening condition. So of course I don't want to go that far to risk my life for this protest. And so I have decided to follow the medical advice and to...
Wow, you did one logical thing and out of all of this. And like, I would love to have some pity for this guy, but how do you pity an idiot when they're literally bringing it on themselves, right? I may have forgot to mention, but apparently these guys are scientists, and they didn't know what would happen if you super glue your hand to the
My
wall,
God.
which is definitely something. The aim of the protest was to highlight Volkswagen's ability to take a stand against pollution and climate change because it's the second largest car producer in the world. They also asked the company to encourage public transport and support a speed cap for the country's highways at 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, these people have no idea of how business works at all. Anything that doesn't generate them more profits and more money, they are not gonna do. They don't care. They don't give a about like the climate or anything. That's just how society works. I'm sorry. If they have families to feed and if they have employees to take care of, they're only gonna take care about the profit margins, okay? So doing stuff like this is not gonna help. Volkswagen offered food to the protesters, but after the Porsche museum staffers wrapped up for the day, the protesters stated that they were left in the dark with no heating and that security guards did their rounds with bright torches. You and your mates turning up to the Porsche.
I just switched to Verizon Business Unlimited. It is just right for my little business. We switched to unlimited premium data, unlimited hotspot data, like winter sale. Oh boy.
Switch to Verizon Business Unlimited today from the network America relies on.
I deserve 100,000 in child support.
You don't earn any money. How are you even talking?
Yes. What do you do? Nothing. You don't want to work? No. But you can go do a job, right? I could, but I'm not going to. I want my rent's free, my food is free.
We all know that the court system.
Oh, shut up.
It's pretty obvious that it's heavily in favor of moms over dads. You hear so many stories of dads just completely getting ripped off after a divorce. They literally have to pay ridiculous sums of money in child support, and oftentimes the money isn't even for the child. It's for the wife to just leech off of them and live lavishly. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we look at the biggest leech on the planet. Real quick, I got this idea from Xenoshot, so big shout out to him. But this woman is so shameless, I had to talk about it, right? She basically sits there in divorce court demanding an increase in child support. She wants free money for doing literally nothing. Now keep in mind, this is somebody who can actually work, right? Their son goes to school, so she's literally doing nothing the entire day. She just sits at home. She actively chooses not to work and live off her husband's child support. It is so incredibly disgusting to see these people try
What a
to
brain leech, dude.
system, which is designed to protect mothers, right? Now, luckily, the judge is actually sensible and calls her out on her BS, but somehow the system is still so broken, she manages to get a raise. It's ridiculous. Take a look.
We brought this case before the court was going on. Well, good morning. I come here today to try to get some.
Oh, you can destroy them.
His business.
Never knew that.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's almost close to 100,000, give or take. Like maybe 10 to 15.
Okay, so obviously she knows everything about his income, right? She was in love with his income. She has the audacity to come into court with no proof, by the way. She literally just tells the judge, "Yeah, he makes 100 grand, so I definitely deserve more child support. I'm only getting 600 bucks. I did the math, so yeah, I need more child support."
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's almost close to 100,000.
Now let's let's just take away the fact that this child support amount is already being used to provide for her child and herself, right? Because she doesn't have a job, she's completely leeching off of it. So this isn't for the child, alright? Don't get tricked by that.
So I feel like I get up to $600 a month from this. I feel like
So that's how much your
right.
child support is
Currently.
right now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you make $100,000?
What if two women were married to each other? How would that work? Who would win, since the mother wins in all cases?
Alright. What is
Or if two men? Now we have a conundrum.
So you said 90 on the high. I can only go off of what he told me. And he said 90,000 on the high. I think you're pretty sure.
Okay, so as I said, there's no documents that she actually brought to court, so obviously the judge is going to listen to the person who actually earns the damn money. By the way, can we just talk about his expression, bro? This guy is so tired. He's so mad. He's just like, why do you have to sit in court?
He looks like a good
My
father.
hard-earned money as a mechanic to this absolute waste of an individual. My God, please choose who you marry wisely. It's going to affect you for the rest of your life.
What do you do for a living?
I don't work. I take care of her.
So you're a stay-at-home mom? And she lives? He is 11? He goes to school?
He does.
So what do you do for a living?
Nothing.
You don't want to work?
No.
So you're just living off of his child support?
How are you this shameless? I don't understand. I don't understand how someone has this little dignity. How you show up in court and say, I live off his child support. Imagine being this pathetic of a human being. Listen, I'm not getting this equation because you have time to sit in court, but you don't have time to get a job somehow.
No kidding. Get your ass a job, you literal parasite. You're literally the blatant definition for a parasite. You wait for everybody else to do their thing. That way you can just do nothing and feed off their work.
And study 8 hours a day. What do? You literally prepare for a court, okay? And not as a lawyer, just to leech off your husband. You're so, oh my God, I can't stand these people, dude. Literally, I don't understand how you sleep in that. How are you so okay with just being this lazy, useless person? At this point, I don't even know how you two became a couple. You have a hardworking mechanic and just a completely useless individual. And by the way, I'm not talking about stay-at-home moms. Stay-at-home moms are extremely hardworking, okay? That's a completely different debate. I think you forgot the equation of being a stay-at-home mom. Like, if you were still in a couple with this guy, it would be perfectly fine. If he's fine with it, you're fine with it, 100% okay. But now that you're divorced, right, you are no longer in this relationship. And you still have the audacity to say that I'm not going to do anything. You need to provide for your child, okay? That's what you signed up when you signed that divorce, okay? You are no longer a stay-at-home mom. You literally give stay-at-home moms a bad reputation, okay? Because they would definitely work if they were put in this situation.
So you just get out of his child support?
And we live with our mother.
And your time?
Well, we were living with him as a stay-at-home mom.
But you can work now, right?
I can, but
So, no, but you can go get a job, right?
I could, but I'm not going to.
I could, but I'm not going to. You know,
That is such a bitch statement.
I could be a respectable individual in society and provide for my child, but I'm not going to, you know? Instead, I'm going to go to court and abuse this absolutely broken legal system, abuse my hardworking mechanic husband, and take all the hard-earned money. Dude, I could not write a character more pathetic than this. If you assigned me the task to write a TV show and make up a character that is absolutely detestable and I hate, I would make him do 50 crimes, but nothing would make me.
Whoa. That's a planet. That is cool. You cannot see a planet. Do you see it? You know you've started to industrialize your galaxy or your solar system when you see that.
pathetic, dude. I cannot. Listen, I've been clowning on the mom this entire time, but I gotta give props to the judge. Like, she's being completely fair in this whole situation, and she's calling her out on her complete BS, okay? This is how a judge should actually be. When someone's so incredibly entitled walks into a court and tries to abuse the legal system, you better call them out on the spot.
I mean, my rent's free, my food is free. I mean, my mom's the homeowner. I don't have to pay nothing.
Dude, I can't believe what I'm hearing, dude. She's still going. My rent's free. My food's free. My utilities are free. My mom's a homeowner. I actually don't have to work a day in my life. I don't know how you're this stupid. You're literally in court arguing a case to increase your child support money, and you're literally telling them, I'm so incredibly privileged, I've never worked a day in my life. I'm so incredibly sad that despite having the time to actually work, you know, contribute to my family's income, you know, improve the quality of life of my child, I choose not to because I'm a lazy piece of trash. Also, you've probably noticed by now, but she's actually representing herself in court. You know, she's obviously not going to get a lawyer for this because a lawyer would laugh in her face. You know, that's just kind of how it goes. Not to mention, she can't afford a lawyer because once again, she's leeching off her husband.
My mom's the homeowner. I don't have to pay nothing.
No, I'm not gonna go there with you today. You can't. Obviously, you're able to work,
I'm able, but I
and
don't
you
want to.
should work. But again, that has nothing to do with me today.
Dude, this is one of the things I don't like about court, right? You have to be professional. You have to do your job to the T. You have to follow the law perfectly to the T, you know, read the rule book and all that. Because I know this judge just wants to completely go off on her, right? But then she has to maintain a certain level of professionalism. But my God, dude, if I was in the audience, I would be screaming at her.
What we're going to do is talk about the modification of these numbers, all right? This is $5,465.22. That will bring, well, health insurance. Who covers health insurance?
Nah, dude. I don't really know what she was expecting as an answer to that question. Who covers health insurance? The hardworking mechanic dad or the jobless mom? I don't know. I'm gonna guess the dad. She's honestly just silently hoping that she's actually, you know, earned some sort of money. But no, that's just not the case.
Who covers health insurance? And how much is it? Okay, 110. So what I'm going to do is trade actually for the health insurance coverage for the child. So that will slightly bring your child support down. And
Down?
hopefully, yes, slightly.
Down?
It's still expensive. $1,093 a month.
Can we just put up a frame of her face when she heard the word down? Oh, what? My child support is actually going down? Despite the fact that I went in court and literally admitted that I don't need it at all? That all my expenses are covered. I have a home, I live with my mom who takes care of all of my expenses, and somehow I'm still campaigning for a bigger paycheck for my husband. You idiot. You don't know how. Oh my God. You're like so stupid. Oh, dude, I'm actually getting so mad. What is this? I cannot stand people who are this worthless, man. Come on.
$1,093 a month is what he will pay in child support.
That's it.
You don't earn any money. How are you even talking? That's it. You have the audacity to say that's it. That's a significant portion of his income. Do you not know how taxes work? He doesn't get to keep the entirety of the 80 or 100 grand, you moron. And also, why should he be giving like what 25% of his income to this absolute leech who does nothing? Do you know how many hours of work that actually translates to? How many hours of work you're stripping away from him? Just completely delusional, so entitled, man.
What would be more if you get a job?
You would pay more if I got a job?
No, it would be more for the child.
Ooh.
Ma'am. No.
He would pay
Get
more if
roasted.
I got a job. I don't know where that
Man, she's got straight up shat on, completely kicked in the face.
You know, she's so obsessed with this child support, she would probably get a job just to get more child support. How are you this dumb? Notice how she completely forgot the reason for child support. It's to provide for your child, you idiot, not you. Oh my God, this is the most frustrating video of the year, by far.
Ma'am. No.
You're
No.
insane.
By the way, she immediately goes to baby mode, like, Your Honor, like, Your Honor, we girls, surely we can get this. Shut the hell up. What the heck are you trying to do, Your Honor? Is it saying Your Honor 50 times is gonna grant you more child support? Just shut up and walk out of the court.
No, you don't understand. I'm basing his child support increase off of what it is that he makes. Until you bring me something in here to show me that, that's what I'm going to base it off of.
Honestly, absolute legend of a judge. I'm so glad that she didn't take any of the BS that was coming out of her mouth. She was literally the only thing in this entire video that gave me a shred of hope. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was the clip. I'm so excited to read the comment section. Bye-bye.
My boss called the cops on me for quitting. Oh, bro.
Welcome to r/best of Redditor updates, where someone gets so angry they throw a chair through a window. Our next Reddit post comes from r/AmITheButthole, and it's titled, "Am I the butthole for walking out over a chair?" Okay, hear me out. For as long as I can remember in my family, almost any time that I got up from my seat, someone would take it to either be funny or claim it as if no one was using it. And as a teenager, it literally got to the point that I brought my own folding chair so I could pick it up and carry it with me. If I left my folding chair where it was, someone would take it. Then they would get mad at me when I wanted it back. As an example, during a holiday last year, I got up from my chair for a moment to help with something, and I came back to find a kid in it. Then my family berated me for wanting them to move. But I told them that when a man owns and brings his own chair, they expect to be able to use it. I own a very nice folding chair that's comfortable and easily portable. And I pretty much bring it to any family event because people are always scrambling for chairs. Well, the other day I went to a birthday party for my nephew. And like always, I brought my own chair. But at some point I had to use the bathroom. When I came back, my chair was missing, and everyone acted like they didn't know where it was. I said they had 1 minute to return it, or I was leaving. They laughed at first, but then realized that I was serious.
What a jerk.
So I started going for the door. Everyone told me to just calm down and that it was just a joke. I said that I didn't care if they think that I'm a stick in the mud. I wouldn't be bringing my own chair all the time if other people weren't always taking my seat whenever I got up. I don't think that it's funny, and I never did. My brother-in-law then pulled the chair out of where he'd hidden it, and when I got it back, one of the legs was bent. I said that it wasn't bent before, and how could he possibly have done this to a metal chair? He said that he could fix it and tried to unbend it, but only made it worse. The chair was pretty much unusable now because the leg was warped and I don't want to risk putting weight on it. I told my brother-in-law that he owes me $50 for the chair because that's what I paid for it new 2 years ago. He got mad and kept saying that it was a stupid chair. I said that this was my stupid chair, and this wouldn't have happened if he wasn't so immature that he and everyone else had to mess with me for years about where I sit. Then I took my now
Sounds petty, but honestly, it's just annoying.
My family's been blowing my phone up, saying that it's just a chair and to let it go. But I still want my brother-in-law to pay me back for it. Am I the butthole?
No.
Then OP posted an update. Last night, I sent a mass text out to my family that I will not be going to any family function, no matter how important it is, until they make this right by promising to not screw with me anymore, and repay me for the chair. They've mostly gone quiet now, but I can wait. I've got all the time in the world for them to realize that I'm serious. And then OP posted another update. I wasn't gonna come back here. To be honest, I'd completely forgotten that I made this account. I only got back in because I'd written down the password and left it at my desk. I was listening to Reddit videos on YouTube a couple of weeks ago when I suddenly heard my old Am I the Butthole post, so I thought that I'd give an update. Well, things escalated a lot after I made that post because I linked the post to my parents and other family members after a little while. They were furious with me at first. Some even mocked me, saying things like, "Oh, watch what you say or do around OP. He might just post about it on Reddit." But when they actually read the comments on my post when I made them, they became mortified. My brother-in-law did agree to pay for a new chair and gave me the money that I asked for. I bought a better folding chair than my last one and resumed going to family functions. But whenever I was there was this air about some of the other family members. They looked at me like I'd sucked all the fun out of the room. My parents had stopped thinking that the chair thing was funny, and even scolded a kid for taking my seat when I got up to use the bathroom. The only problem is that that kid was my nephew, and he started crying when they made him get up. My brother-in-law came to the boys' rescue, and my nephew ended up blurting out that his daddy told him that he could do it. When I came out of the bathroom, there was a big fight about it going on. Several family members, including my sister and brother-in-law, were all yelling that it was just a stupid chair, and I shouldn't be so butthurt about it. My parents demanded to know why they were so butthurt about not being allowed to screw with me anymore. Like, what was their motivation after doing it for so long? It made no sense, and it just wasn't funny anymore. That's when I intervened. I told them none of this stuff would have ever happened if they hadn't been so intent on messing with me, and there was really no point to it. I said that I only started bringing my own chair because I could never find a stable place to sit. And if they still thought that they were in the right about the situation, then they were just bullies, plain and simple. And what kind of example is that to be setting for their son? My brother-in-law raged, grabbed my new chair, and then hurled it through the living room bay window.
Oh my god. Dead ass?
I just made Morningstar Farms veggie chicken nuggets and
Veggie chicken nuggets. Oh my god, no.
There was a bit of a pause before he realized what he'd just done. Then he took off in his car and just left my sister and nephew there. My parents got my sister to call him, and over the phone, they threatened to go to the cops if he didn't pay for the damages. My brother-in-law yelled a few F-bombs until my sister took the phone back. She said that he can either make things right or she'll divorce him. Well, that did the trick, because he came back looking like a kicked puppy with his head hanging low. He apologized to me and my parents without even looking at us, and he said that he would pay for the new bay window and left again. My sister said that he drank himself to sleep that night. My new chair was just fine. It took being hurled through a bay window like a champ. There was hardly a scratch on it. My brother hired a window company to come and replace the window. They had to measure and order a new one before it could be installed. And until then, the window had to be covered with plywood. It took some time, but eventually my parents got a new bay window. And the new one is even better than the old one. Though I imagine that it was extra expensive because it's a bay window. My family was still divided about the situation for a while. Mainly, my brother-in-law's parents, my uncle, and a couple
What
of
a shit show.
blamed me and called me obnoxious over insisting on bringing my own chair and refusing to let anyone else use it. So I compromised. I said that if I had a good designated seat that no one would try to take away, then I would leave my chair in my car. It took 2 more family barbecues before they finally agreed to this. Since then, I've left my chair in my car unless there really wasn't enough seating, and that's only happened once since then. The problem is, though, that even though they stopped screwing with me, they're still screwing with each other until things went too far. They still like to take each other's seats. But I guess that other people were following my example because they put their feet down and demanded that it stop. This has been going on for decades, and some people have had enough. My brother-in-law stayed out of the fight entirely and hasn't caused any more trouble. But for several family functions, a number of people just didn't bother to show up. My mother was broken up about it because she loves hosting parties. It's taken months, but everything is more or less normalized again. But without the chair thing going on, some have resorted to other stupid pranks, like a little device that you hook to a chair that makes farts. They didn't do it to my seat, they did it to a cousin. That cousin got really petty at the next party and let out real farts. He said that he ate a whole pack of fiber bars and had eggs for breakfast. And man, was it nasty. Other pranks included hiding eating utensils, a stink bomb, hiding some sort of monster thing in the toilet, cellophane in a doorway, ripping paper when someone bends over, messing with drinks, hiding shoes, copying outfits, a container of foam packing peanuts above a doorway, and finally one that really infuriated my aunt and uncle when the party was held at their house, a glitter bomb. They had their carpet professionally cleaned, and they billed the person who made the glitter bomb for it. So now the pranks are just over. No one wants them anymore, and I'm fine with that. However, the last family functions have been a bit dull. I think they were were so used to how things were that now they're trying to find other ways to amuse themselves that don't involve cell phones. Ugh, I got exhausted just reading that post. Well, Pete, your entire family is filled with immature bullies. What if, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, this is just a wild idea. What if we just didn't bully each other constantly? You know, what if we just talked to each other? And
Honestly, it sounds like he's a jerk because of the chair, but seriously, like, go stand for 5 hours and see how it feels, because honestly, when you start standing and you want to sit, that's when you realize that sitting is actually such a big commodity. I mean, you'll see me stand when I play video games, but I only stand for 30 minutes until I have to take a seat. I mean, seriously, sitting is, like, if you stand all the time, it's just gonna make you feel sore.
And enjoy each other's company because we love each other because we're family. I mean, is that crazy? Is that bizarre? Oh my god, OP. When the when your brother-in-law threw the chair through the window. Oh my god, what is going on with this family? The funny thing is, he's from the side that's like, it's only a chair, what's the big deal? Well, if it's not a big deal, why are you getting so worked up about it that you're throwing furniture outside of the window, dude? Are you okay?
Yeah, Purdue.
Take a break, perhaps on this folding chair, and relax for a minute? Our next Reddit post comes from r/anti-work. I finally had it. I walked out. This is a pizza delivery place with no delivery drivers left now. I've spent the last 3 years delivering pizza for one of the mega chain companies, and I'm finally effing done. I get minimum wage, of course, and a flat rate delivery fee paid to the driver of $1.50. They charge customers $4 for delivery, but I get $1.50 of it. Most days, there's nothing but a single driver and a manager trying to run a place doing 30 plus pizzas per hour from 11 a.m. to midnight. Closing the store and cleanup takes until 2 a.m. minimum, and I've had days when I came home past 4 a.m. Customers screaming, ranting, canceling orders all day long. Orders flooding in non-stop all day and night. It's like living in a constant panic attack. I'm always stressed. There's always a dozen things that still need doing, and a dozen other things that nobody did. At the beginning of COVID, the store had about 16 drivers on staff. Even with 16 people, we barely had enough staff, but it was still doable. We gradually lost about 2 hours per month to where we are now. We have a gigantic delivery area that can't be covered by anything less than 6 drivers. Double that when we're busy, which we are non-stop. We've had 2 drivers all summer until a month ago, but now they have none. I've been working an average of 70 hours per week. Some weeks over 90. I'm averaging over 7.
What is that? 90 divided by 5. 90 divided by 5 is 19 hours a 19 hours a day. That is unholy. Dude, that's barely enough time to cram in free time, let alone sleep. That's literally... Wow, I will never work 19 a week, man. I couldn't. Props to him. He's doing something I couldn't. I could not. Poor dude.
100 miles per week on my car. Tips have become awful. easily happen. They don't even tip at all anymore. In the beginning of COVID, a 70-hour work week was easily over $1,000 in my pocket. Since the beginning of this year, I've gradually dropped to maybe $500 max. And I'm just totally exhausted and stressed out nonstop. They won't raise my wage. That's nice.
What a scumbag delivery service. These companies that have so many billions of dollars can't pay their workers right, and it's embarrassing. I don't have Liberty.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick Lexus, though. That's so you. Of course, no. That's so you.
I got 6 cents.
And he had a display.
The franchise owner swears that people are just lazy and frequently intimates that all of his current employees are just lazy whine. So, on to last night. I had 20 deliveries on the board, and I'm the only driver. The queue is backed up by at least 45 minutes. The owner is working the counter for his once-per-month shift, where he mostly just screams and gets in the way. Lying to customers, telling them it'll be 15 minutes for their order, when at minimum it's going to be 1 hour. Then he decides that I'm not moving fast enough in front of a dozen customers, all standing in the front, pissed, waiting for their extremely late food. He says to me, "You need to goddamn run with those deliveries. People are hungry, you lazy scum." I had it. I was done. No more. Enough. I dropped all the food that I was carrying in the middle of the floor. I went out back, cashed myself out, took my lock off my locker, and emptied my stuff. I went out front, brought in the stupid company car topper, tossed it in the pile of food on the floor, and just left. I have no idea what he was screaming while it happened, and I don't care. So I'm finally and totally done with this, and
Honestly, hats off to you. Screw 2 weeks leave.
like this. It's not a business when they think this is how to run things, like it's some ego-stroking, half-assed hobby. I'm just not here for it anymore. On the plus side, I slept 12 hours last night for the first time in forever, and I feel amazing today. It's like a huge lump of stress, rage, hatred, and panic has just evaporated inside of me. I highly recommend it. Effing quit. Walk out on that bastard. Walk out, move on, quit. Do it. They deserve it. And then OP posted an update. The next day, the owner just texted wanting to know if I was coming in tonight, Friday night. Dude, it's Friday and you're late already. Are you coming? I've got no drivers here, and I already have over 20 deliveries just sitting here. WTF? What do I do? Do I just ignore it?
Ignore it. Let him seal his own fate.
But I am definitely never going back. And then another update. My boss texted me, "I'm gonna effing sue you for ruining my business and job abandonment." I don't know how.
Nah, you ruined yourself. You don't pay your workers, you don't get good service.
Because I work for you, you cheap bastards, and you know that I'm broke. Here's some free advice for you. Don't sue poor people because we don't have anything. Now, apparently, I'm fired. Woe is me! And then OP posted another update. So I drove by this morning thinking I would be decent and return my uniform, shirts, and whatnot. Try to act like an adult or whatever. And he's closed today. There's a handwritten sign on the door that simply says, "Closed today due to lack of staff." I texted around my former coworkers, and apparently his rage fits all Friday and Saturday cost him 2 more employees. Also, his other daytime driver told him to go F himself and walked out midday Saturday. The dude is self-destructing, I guess, and he doesn't seem to care if he torpedoes his own business. Now he has absolutely no drivers, only his store general manager and a 17-year-old left. Oh well, I left my uniform shirts in the dumpster around the corner. Then OP posts another update. So my former employer is in my... What? Okay, my former employer is now in my front lawn screaming his head off. And how's your Thursday night going, Reddit? So I got a knock on my door door today. I answer it, and it's my former boss. I'm not happy about this, because I seriously dislike people just showing up at my house uninvited. Okay, WTF? So anyways, now that you've had some time, are you ready to grow up and be a man and come back to work? It's Friday tomorrow, and I need my people. I said, what the F did you just say to me? Grow up and be a man? I quit. We're done. Go away. I don't have anything to say to you. I start to go inside, but he launches into an unbelievable rant about being closed half this week and that it's my fault.
No, it's your fault. Pay your workers, dumbass.
Staff the store open 100 hours a week with just him and his general manager, and it's my fault for quitting. He says that he spends too much on DoorDash fees sending out deliveries, so he's gonna go broke any minute now. At this point, I'm just in slack-jawed disbelief. I can't believe this Nimrod won't leave me alone.
With the available GMC Multi-Pro Midgate, it is the Denali of EVs from GMC.
He let his staff dwindle from nearly 30 employees pre-COVID down to the last 6 or so, and we all bailed finally as well, and that's my fault? I said, I don't give an F. I'm not interested and I don't care. I don't know how else to say this to you. Why are you here? I'm not gonna work for you ever, for any reason, so just go away. You're just a child and an effing coward. Get back to work.
Yes,
I need you there. Go after yourself and get off my property. I slammed the door in his face and went inside. He stayed on my front porch, banging on my door like a maniac.
I mean, I wish that happened to me. That way I can call the cops on him.
Screaming and ranting at the top of his lungs, threatening to sue me for job abandonment, for ruining him and bankrupting him, and how it's my fault that his kids are gonna starve and be homeless. My neighbors are starting to hear him. Finally, I've had enough listening to this. The poor, nice old guy across the street is standing on his lawn with his next door neighbor, trying to figure out what the hell is going on over here. Finally, he starts to leave. And because I'm a petty child, as he walks through the ranting, I pop the door open real quick and stick my head out and yell, "Your pizza sucks and you suck if you think one driver can save your awful business. I hope you go bankrupt so I can laugh at you panhandling on the street corner in the front, you cheap butthole." That I slammed the door shut, but he ran back up, pounded on the door, and started screaming some more. 20 minutes of his yes. My neighbor actually went back inside of his house and called me. I told him what happened, and he just laughed his butt off. He asked if he should maybe call the cops over a domestic disturbance going on at my house. I won't say that I told him to do it, but I certainly didn't tell him not to do it. So, my former boss is standing on my front lawn right now, with blue lights from 3 police cruisers flashing among the house as the sun sets on a lovely New England day. I'm sure that he won't get arrested, but I would love to see it. And my, oh my, does he seem agitated. The poor cops look bored, frankly. They only talked to me for a few minutes, and I told them that he's just an ex-boss who won't accept that I effing quit. They did not seem all that amused. Oh well, not my problem. I called one of my former coworkers who also quit, and apparently my boss went to his house to yell at him too. Oh my god, what a douche! So now, I'm just sitting on my deck watching my ex-boss as he sheepishly tries to explain harassing an ex-employee at his home to the cops. And I'm just peaceful, stress-free, and well-rested after quitting his awful job. Maybe I should wave at him. Then we have another update. So, as requested, I called a few other coworkers, and so far, 2 others have responded saying that this boss showed up at their house. One just told him to F off, slammed the door in his face, and ignored him. The other wasn't home, but his mother answered, and boss man tried to give her flack for her kid quitting. Oh my god, OP, your boss is such a doofus. If his business is really this dependent on one driver, and you really did make him go bankrupt, you really did ruin his business, and he wants to sue you and all that stuff, then maybe, just maybe, you should hire a second driver. That was r/Best of Redditor updates, and if you like this content, check out my podcast.
I'm gonna go. Bye.